given some really neat gifts to be able to bring healing on patients that are out of hope, out of time, and out of money. Now the purpose is to expand our reach, and we want to reach, treat, and heal the world. Hello everyone, this is Dr. West, and we're going to talk about pain and natural pain considerations, why pain makes the body so tired, and alternatives to prescriptive medication. So we want to know, where does pain come from? Well, it comes from trauma, from disease, from autosuggestion. There can be dental involvement, and then lack of adequate nutrition is a huge factor on why people struggle with chronic pain. Now, are you in pain? Do you have to reach for an over-the-counter painkiller, or even the heavy pharmaceutical hitters prescribed by your doctor? And there are literally hundreds of natural painkillers waiting for you in the abundance of nature. You can count on plants and herbs to alleviate many things, from arthritis pain to headaches to burn. I mean, here's the information. Now, no one wants to live in pain, and many pharmaceutical pain medications, while effective and useful, it can be downright dangerous and addictive. But there's other solutions to your pain problems, and almost always, if we find that pharmaceuticals are doing the trick, we can find a plant that's doing the same trick and doing it more safely, says botanist James Duke, who's the author of the Green Pharmacy Guide to Healing Foods. Another expert, Dr. Dillard, the author of the Chronic Pain Solution, says, no matter how well you prescribe medication, chronic pain sufferers don't get complete relief. And it's an enormous problem, and the medical community is doing a bad job solving it. And before you do anything else, you have to quit the junk food that fires up the pain system, he says. Now, the modern Western diet is comprised of highly refined foods like sugar, refined carbohydrates, and most of it is devoid of fruits and vegetables and whole grains, and it's going to block the ability of other non-pharmaceutical remedies to halt pain. And if you think about inflammatory foods like white sugars, high fructose corn syrup, inflammatory grains, wheats, white bread, rolls, biscuits, all of those really aggravate chronic pain problems. And once you've done that, you can turn up the many herbs, the vitamins, the minerals, and enzymes that can really help. There's also like 60 different essential oils that help with pain and analgesic properties. And analgesic means that the substance has shown to relieve or reduce pain. So many plants have pain relieving properties. So here's a couple considerations for natural painkillers. Number one, things like ginger, turmeric, and holy basil, because these sets of herbs form a sort of trinity in Ayurvedic medicine, and all of them have anti-inflammatory properties. Turmeric, which is a curry ingredient, contains curcumins, which ease inflammatory conditions like osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, and chronic headache problems. According to the Methodist Research Institute at Indianapolis, each herb has its own scientific database of evidence, says Dr. Dillard. Now, other things that really help chronic pain patterns are things like chiropractic manipulative therapy, physiologic therapeutics, physical therapy through motion and stretching and rehabilitation of muscles and joints, soft tissue release, and massage therapy. Another herb that works really well is something called devil's claw. This ominous sounding herb is actually great for treating numerous health conditions, and among them are liver problems and heartburn. It also has an anti-inflammatory effect and can reduce pain from arthritis, from headaches, and low back pain, according to the University of Maryland Medical Center, and has published several studies with great success treating osteoarthritis. The leaves from the birch tree act much like cortisone without all of the deleterious or bad side effects. It's helpful to treat hormone disorders, it's good for arthritis, it's good for autoimmune conditions like lupus, skin diseases, and more. And the main chemical compound found in birch leaves is called methyl salicylate, which is similar to salicylic acid, which is used in aspirin. It has an antispasmodic, an analgesic, an astringent, an antifungal, a diuretic, detoxifying agent. It reduces oxidative damage to the skin, which helps to reduce and contain wrinkles. I mean, everybody should really be taking this. It also promotes enzymatic secretions in the body. It's truly one of the first powerful pain relievers ever used. Now, you could use essential oils like wintergreen, which I've seen have amazing outcomes. White willow bark has an active ingredient called salicin, which is the body converts into salicylic acid. And this tree covering lowers the body's levels of prostaglandins and hormone-like compounds that cause aches, pains, and inflammation. And what's more, white willow bark doesn't upset the stomach or cause internal bleeding like many of the over-the-counter aspirins. So this herb, you get relief from menstrual cramps, from muscle pains, from arthritis, or after knee or hip surgery, as it promotes blood flow and healing. Now, some foods that are really helpful for pain and inflammation. One of the herbs that's really helpful for pain and inflammation is capsaicin, and it's found in hot chili peppers, and this natural remedy does wonders for pain. The active pain-reducing component temporarily desensitizes the nerve receptors called C fibers, which cause the pain response, which also helps to diminish the soreness for 3 to 5 weeks while the C fibers regain sensation. A single application of patients with neuropathic pain produced effective pain relief for up to 12 weeks, according to the treatment protocols at the New England Center for Headache, and it decreased their migraines and cluster headaches intensity by applying capsaicin cream basically to their nose and their nasal passages. Now, an essential fatty acid called gamma-linoleic acid, or GLA, it can be found in numerous seed oils. According to the University of Maryland, people who consume these essential fatty acids are able to reduce nerve pain associated with diabetic conditions. One of my favorite foods to recommend people is cherries, because it has the presence of compounds called anthocyanins. The same phytonutrients that give cherries their rich ruby hue or their color, you can count on to tamp down on pain, according to Dr. Nair. They block inflammation and they inhibit pain enzymes just like aspirin, naproxen, and other non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, again without the side effects. Cherries are said to have the highest anti-inflammatory content of any food, making them great for remedy issues such as arthritis. Now, there's another thing called Aquaman, and it's derived from red seaweed. Aquaman is a powerful pain reducer, and in a study published in the Nutrition Journal of 70 volunteers, Aquaman users reduced arthritis by 20% in a month and had less stiffness than the patients taking a placebo. Now, helping to diminish inflammation helps to build bones, so it's really effective in osteoarthritis. Now, one of the age-old treatments for aches and pains is Arnica. It's an excellent herbal rub to use after intense sports or an acute injury, or even after a surgery, and it's a well-known natural painkiller among athletes and people that do yoga. It's derived from a European flower and has amazing anti-inflammatory properties, although the true nature of this healing action is still kind of unknown. Now, peppermint is most often used as a natural remedy for toothaches, but it's really good for bloating, for gas, for joint conditions, skin irritations, headaches, and muscle pain. Another herb called Boswellia is sourced from the frankincense tree, and its resin is used to thwart chemical reactions that cause inflammation and thus joint pain. And Ayurvedic scientists have used Boswellia for centuries to treat arthritic conditions as well as inflammatory bowel disease. Bromelain is a natural pain reducer that comes from enzymes present in pineapple stems. Research shows that it reduces the level of prostaglandins, which are hormones that induce inflammation. Bromelain has many benefits with people with arthritis and conditions marked by musculoskeletal tension. And musculoskeletal means muscles and joints, things like TMJ syndrome. And in addition to those suffering from trauma-related inflammation, the enzyme helps to promote healing in muscles and connective tissue. And one of the clinical tips they learned about 15 years ago, that if you combine high-dose essential fatty acids, omega-3 is about 6,000 to 8,000 milligrams, which is typically 6 to 8 pills, with the proteolytic enzyme like bromelain, it's enormously beneficial and helpful for muscle aches, pains, and headaches. Now, cranberry juice is usually what you think of when you get a urinary tract infection, but if you're having a bout of stomach problems, ulcers usually result from a pathogen called H. pylori, which attacks the lining of the stomach and the small intestines, but cranberry juice can kill it and reducing pain. And so instead of turning to antibiotics, which may destroy the good and the bad bacteria, causing your ulcers and urinary tract infections, you can treat with cranberry or cranberry juice extract. Now, it's really important that if you're going to use a cranberry juice extract, that if it tastes really good, it's probably the wrong thing. Cranberry extract, when it's really helpful, is very, very tart, nearly bitter. It's not something that you would drink for fun, but it's really, really effective for ulcers and urinary tract infections. There are hundreds more natural painkillers, but adding some of these that we talked about above is great for your home medicine cabinet. And this is the video for you if you want some alternatives to deal with chronic pain without using prescriptive therapy, muscle relaxers, and opiates. If you put your body in balance, if you get enough water, if you get the right nutritional products, if you can get the right foods in your system, it can really help with pain control. And one of the biggest problems with pain control is all of the fatigue associated with it because it takes an enormous amount of energy to be in pain. Now, the best treatments that you haven't heard about, the natural herbs or vitamins, regenerative injection therapy, vitamin infusion therapy, oxidative medicine, ultraviolet therapy are covered in our other videos, but there are other solutions than a prescription for chronic pain. Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you'd like more information, education, or want to work with us, head over to bestmedicaloptions.com. And if you want to help to reach, teach, and heal the world, leave a comment, like, share it with someone that you love. It may seem like an impossible task, but those that are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do.